What's up, guys? From here on out, we're going to have sponsors. So for the first couple of minutes of the podcast, I will be talking about our sponsor. And our first sponsor of the podcast is Yak Attack, and that's yakattack.us. And what Yak Attack is the rigging company of everybody, basically. Anything you want to put on a kayak with rigging, they specialize in it. And it all starts with the gear track and of course the screwball. And later on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a screen right here with a little bit of Yak Attack stuff showing, and then on the the YouTube version right through here, I'll be scrolling through like some video of the company and their products. So from here on out, there's going to be some sponsors from here on out. So we're real stoked about that, and don't hate on it because it's a good thing. It's going to help us out and grow this thing. And
hopefully we'll be able to upgrade to where we can actually play videos. We won't have to have like separate ridiculous screens. We'll be able to play them right here on the laptop in front of Kevin.
That's probably going to be a little bit further.
Yeah, but I mean that's what we're working goals.
The first thing is I want to get control of the audio. I want to get headphones and microphones, so then we can bring in Skype and into telephone.
Oh, I get, yeah.
That's the first thing, because I want to be able to bring in people from all around.
And you don't need the upgrade for that.
I do need some equipment. I need some equipment.
Yeah, but you don't need as far as the...
No, it would be good to have another computer because I'm going to be running more.
No, I'm talking about the Ustream update though, as far as the...
No, I can do, yeah. It's the multi-cameras that really jumps up. That's where we jump a whole nother level. That's a whole nother couple.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
But the first thing I think is real within our reach is controlling the audio and getting Skype and audio and telephone calls. I think that would be the shit. So, yeah. So thank you, Yak Attack, for getting us started on this. And if anything, we're probably going to have 2 sponsors, no more than 3. I'm not going to hem up this whole first part of the podcast with ads. But we that's want to keep it low, keep it small, and really appreciate the sponsors that are going to come on.
Our sponsors also are going to be. I mean, if you want to ask about our sponsors, especially even before the show, on the Facebook post. Mm-hmm. If you want to know something about Yak Attack, put that in there, and we can put that in the first few minutes of the you know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. We can answer those questions just like all the other ones. But So that's going to be from here on out. But come on in here, Jay. This is podcast number 20, and it's June 13th, 2014, and we got Jay Brooks in here.
What's up, guys?
First time he's been in here, and he's a good friend of ours, but this is the first time he's been in, and it's VirginiaKayakFisherman.com is his website.
Yep.
And we got
Lee. Big Texas shirt.
And we got Lee.
Big Texas. Not to be confused with Tex. No, I am not Tex.
Tex is a lot bigger than you.
Yeah. He's decent size, but Tex is up there. We'd have to move the camera out to get the 3 of us.
Yeah.
We got to move the camera out to bring Tex in here.
Now you've been gone for 6 months?
Yeah, 7 months now.
7 months in Afghanistan, so welcome back, and you've been back and fishing the last couple of weeks anyway.
Yeah.
You came in right at the end of the red season. It was just the way it happened there. But,
I made the mistake.
Last year it wasn't the end of the red season,
it wasn't.
so it's one of those.
It was one of those things. It was a late and then early end for us anyway. They were still catching them out in the deep water. But
They're still catching them out in the deep water.
Yeah.
They're still and sight fishing as well. They're still catching them some sight fishing out in open water.
They're starting to do that. Yeah, that summertime pattern.
But they did it all spring too because the water was so warm in pockets. It came up.
Yes.
The current came up so crazy. These warm pockets of water came up, and these fish are just hordes of them out off the ocean front, just on top.
And all I could do was watch online. It was great. It was awesome.
I never got to see it, dude. I never get to see that. I've never seen it from the boat when we go out and try and look for it. I've never seen it.
I know.
I've found them in the boat where we find them in the kayaks, but I've never found them in the boat, out in 40, 50 feet of water or 100 feet of water, just swimming where you.
That's the thing. I was going on a quest to try to find reds in the summertime, and basically that's where they go. I mean, really to be able to target them, it's out in open water, which we can't paddle to. So it's
it's one thing about paddling too, but they're not in a place.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You can't paddle to
anywhere.
Yeah. It's literally needle in a haystack. I mean,
it's a big haystack.
You should launch at Sandbridge, and then I'll launch out of Rudy, and then Jake can launch at Cape Henry. And we can put everyone we know around the whole coast, and nobody might find anything. And then if we did it the next day, everybody might catch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to I told Lee, I was like, when I get back, I'm gonna do all my fishing. I'm gonna take time off, and all I'm gonna do is fish. And I ended up just making myself frustrated. I mean, because like you said, it was the very end. So I made that one trip out there and got skunked. It was okay, it happens.
Yep.
And then I tried a couple other things, and it was just one thing after another, and I lost my Maui gyms, and that was a bad day.
Kaplook.
Yeah.
I can't see.
Turn
that. Excuse me. Turn that light this way. This way. Like turn it. Put it up against the wall.
Hold
And
the cord.
face it right up against the
cord.
wall. Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
To make matters
Yeah, I thought it
worse,
was a little crazy.
Pull that one out a little bit.
Lee was catching them sight casting that day. Right after I lost my glasses, there was a guy on the dock. He goes, "They're right here," and I had to make a blind cast. And he goes, "No, you messing to scare them away." He goes, "You know what would help? If you had some glasses." And this was like less than 5 minutes away from me losing my glasses. It was horrible.
I went across the cove. Out some more?
Yeah, yeah.
I moved across the cove all the way, like, just away from Jay. And it was a pro. I mean, I nailed him like every time. I either caught a fish every cast I made, or I got rejected or scared him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was one of those times where I didn't make any more casts. I caught one when we first got there, blind casting, and then Jay caught that bluefish and lost his glasses. And then I just, by then I had seen a couple.
How'd you lose them?
I put my glasses right here.
Or that, wasn't the top of the hat deal?
And then I was holding the bluefish, and I was one arm paddling, and it slowly worked my glasses up. And then Lee goes, "What was that?" I go, "What?" And I turned around, I saw the Maui Gym logo just slowly sinking into the water. I was like,
15 feet deep in Rudy.
Yeah.
Well, nothing.
No swimming.
No. Yeah, I asked him.
And it was
like,
cold.
"Hey, hold my boat." Yeah, it was, no.
All right.
So it was frustrating. So and it was like that for the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Until last weekend. I mean, it was. So of course Lee had good luck because it's either Lee has good luck or I have good luck. It's not at the same time. It's one or the other. So he's been doing all right. I think you and your niece have been doing all right at least.
Yeah. Well, I went fishing today. I put on Facebook this morning that I was dying to catch something today, and I caught a croaker in the mouth. It was about like this big. That's not all I caught though. I mean, I did catch like an 18-inch flounder that I let go.
Targeted species.
And and I had a redfish hook that got away. I mean, I believe this thing was over the slide. I mean, it was fun time.
That's good. That's too bad. It's too bad in the morning. It's too bad there's not any smaller ones. I'm surprised you didn't come across any smaller ones.
Yeah. No.
Did you go all the way back?
No.
Just at that spot.
I fished. Yeah, that island across from there too.
Right.
And the tide was going out already.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I'm gonna get out, and then I should have stayed back there. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Did you hit the jetties?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing.
Sand. Sand.
Is it get shallow up?
No. It's just the water was just sand.
Oh, I got you.
It's crazy. Like you couldn't see 2 inches into it.
Yeah.
And it was like shiny. You know what I mean? The croakers were eating. The croakers were down there, but yeah, nothing. Not even. I didn't catch a flounder at the jetty. Caught a flounder in the inlet.
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean,
Then you paddled. You said you paddled home from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had the incoming?
No, I had the outgoing, but it wasn't.
Wasn't that strong?
Well, I mean, it wasn't as strong coming down the beach on the outgoing, coming against because as it was dumping out of that inlet.
Yeah.
I mean, it was coming out of there. So I was like, man. Speaking of which, we got to get my kayak from the side of the house over here.
Oh.
Nice.
You got it locked up. It's dark already.
Yeah, I really felt like I had to catch a fish, and there's this pond on the Afghan base. It's where all their shit water goes to. Mm-hmm. So it's and so there's some reeds growing on the side. There's some I would always stare at it, just thinking about fishing. I knew it was a shit pond, but whatever. So I'd always drive by. So towards the end of the deployment, my major looks back at me because I was in the back of the car. He looks back at me and goes, "If you knew there was 10-pound bass in there, would you fish that?"
Yeah.
You go, yeah, of course I would. And everyone in the car just, even the linguists, we were all quiet. They looked at me, they go, "What, really?" I was like, if there was bluegill in there, I would go in there and I would try to catch one of those bluegill. They're like,
going swimming.
Well, I mean, there's brown trout in there. I mean, there's no way in there, but it's like, of course I would. There's no question.
Not like a swimmer.
I had a blast catching bluegills the other day with my niece.
Yeah.
They thought it was crazy. They thought it was,
Yeah.
I caught 2.5-pound bluegill before too, though.
Jeez.
Shell cracker.
Yeah.
I got a citation for one 2.5. Caught one 2 pounds 2 ounces. Yeah, it was ugly.
big bluegill.
Yeah, they're giant. Shell crackers, what they call them. I caught them in Western Branch in Suffolk.
Right.
I found them in 2 different spots. I fished for those things probably for. Me and my dad fished for them for 3 or 4 years and never found them. We never. I mean.
You live bait those or jigs?
No, red wigglers on a small hook, shiny.
Yeah.
They're up there trying to spawn and you just throw it up there. They just.
Yeah.
I mean, giant bluegill.
Yeah.
Giant.
Yeah.
Then I caught like a 12-pound catfish up there trying to eat the bluegill eggs on the red wiggler on the ultralight. I mean, I followed that thing out to 30 feet of water with the trolling motor, hooked up. You know what I mean? Ultralight, hooked up, 12-pound catfish, going. But yeah, I mean, and it took us 6 years before I ever found him, and I found him one day with my friends, like almost on accident.
Yeah.
You know, and it was the first one I caught was the 2.5 pounder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we caught some. We came.
What's that taste? 2? Or
no? What is bluegill? A pound 8 or a pound 3? Might even be just. It might have been just a pound then. Oh, these are monsters.
Big.
Yeah.
These
were monsters.
Not just at citation, but like blowing it away. Like
yeah. Giants.
Yeah.
And we caught them that week. When we took them to Ocean's East to get them weighed. They discolored and everything by then, you know what I mean? On ice, everything. We get him in there and start throwing him up on the scale, and he weighs my 2.5 pounder, and I get a citation for that. And then I think he weighed Zach's 2 pound, 2 ouncer or something like that. And he said, all right, that's good. And we threw Caleb's up there, and it was like 1 pound and 13 ounces or something like that. He's like, that one doesn't make it. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, crappie are 2 pounds. I was like, nah, man, you need to be looking at what you're weighing here. These ain't crappie. He looked down again and looked up at me, and he was like, oh God! I was like, yeah, man, these are giants, jumbos. It took me years, but the first ones I found were jumbos. Yeah, I found jumbos the first time I found them.
That's it's like a.
And you're talking about 4 pound test ultralight with a tiny, like, I can't remember what size gold.
You could probably straighten the hook out with the 4 pound test if you really.
Oh yeah, I mean, we use those gold hooks.
Yeah.
You buy the.
Yeah.
The Eagle Claw gold.
Yep.
I mean, you sold stuff for people buying shell crackers to tackle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Red wigglers, split shots.
What's a red wiggler? I don't know what that is.
The small worms.
Small worms, not night crawlers.
Okay.
Small worms. They're all about that big.
I mean, they can be longer, but they're not
skinny.
as big around. They're skinny. Yeah. Good I mean, earthworms, basically.
Yeah, but small.
Domesticated small earthworms. Yeah.
Yep.
Farmed worms.
They are.
Not the wild ones. They're domesticated.
farmed. Domesticated. Like, yeah, they farm these things and.
Yeah, so I fished today, and I paddled today.
Right.
But yeah, I got out there and the winds weren't as calm as I thought it was. I was expecting it to be glass because I didn't have any light to see cobia fishing, just like looking for them. But it was still so I'm just gonna go paddle,
Right.
Yeah. And caught bait, but right where I was catching bait, I saw a baby free jump, like baby cobia, pop at that bait.
Huh.
Just doop boop. I was like,
nice.
Yeah.
They jump so weird.
Well, it jumped like a sturgeon, up on the side to the back. Boom.
That's how they do.
Yeah.
That's a cobia jump.
Yeah.
It probably got hooked or something by something earlier. Either that or it's got a little tiny remora bothering it or something. Yeah. They say that fish free jump if they're not eating something, chasing something to eat it.
Right.
They say, and especially the billfish, they say they jump to hit their heads. They have bugs and stuff crawl up in around their gills, and they jump and jar the stuff off too. And that's why you see billfish out there jumping, and that's probably one of the very first reasons they jump when you hook them is because something's bothering them in their head.
And that's the same thing. It's
they're like,
yeah. That's a good. Yeah, it's a great theory. It's a great theory. I totally believe that. Yeah. And that was it. Then I paddled out, and winds kind of came up, and I just kind of paddled around. I saw rays. I saw some ray fins. Just to look at
them. I saw stingrays going crazy.
They're mating. But I saw earlier this week. I saw a baby on a ray. So now I'm seeing rays. I'm going to look at them. At least
I think I saw a guy go after cobia today, going out of Little Creek with the kayak.
Yeah.
He went out to the buoy out there. I mean, he went out. He paddled over to the jetty. Yep. There was a Navy guy fishing from the jetty. Yep. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Navy guy fishing from the jetty.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah, they're allowed to do that.
And
I know we can't get close to it sometimes, but
they won't let me. I'm a damn captain in the Marine Corps. I cannot land on the sand without the patrol boat rushing over to tell me to get off.
Yeah, get off.
But they can walk out on the jetty. I'm like,
Yeah.
So
If you hold up your ID, you're not. Oh, you're still not allowed to no, because you didn't go through a gate.
right, yeah,
That's
that's what it is.
So you can't just walk up on the land.
I've told him before. I'm like, hey, I'm in the Marines, and you're still gonna have to come off.
Yeah, we're gonna need you off of this beach.
Speaking of
We got
Marines,
these.
Did you see? I saw today there were Marine vets or Fallujah vets are making a Kickstarter campaign to raise money.
Go take it?
Go take it
Yeah.
over Kenneth. So I saw that today and I was like, that's Marines, man. That is
yeah.
Marines. They're already out. They're already done it.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta go back and get our city.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's. I had a buddy that was over there, and it really affected.
Oh yeah, I'm making light of it, but
Oh,
it's funny because that's to me is like that.
Yeah,
That's the epitome of the Marine Corps. You're already
It's
out
theirs.
there.
They own it.
Fuck
That's
that.
theirs.
Yeah.
We will take it right back. I swear to God, we will take it back.
What was you were over there in the wintertime too? It was cold, wasn't it?
Yeah, it snowed for the first time, and none of the people there had ever seen snow.
Yeah.
Because it's like the southern part of the desert, and so
Okay.
when it snowed, when I got all kinds of pictures of the trucks and everything else because no one had ever seen snow.
And the Afghan guys were like,
Yeah, it was literally a snow day. No one went over. They did their thing. We did our thing. Everyone played in the snow.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was wild. We had the weirdest seasons when I was over there. So we went over in the fall. It snowed in the winter, which was crazy. And they said, okay, now it's gonna rain for a month. And it only rained for a couple of days. And we're like, okay, well, whatever, it's fine. And it's all, it gets all muddy. Mm-hmm. And so we were fine with it. But then it kept on raining every couple of days. It would rain and then it would stop. And then it would rain and it would stop. It was really weird. Even before we left, which was supposed to be the dry season.
it was still raining.
Yeah, it was still
So
raining.
they were having a weird season over there.
Yeah, No. The weather, I swear, it coincides because it would be, y'all would get something, and a couple days later we would get something similar.
Yeah.
It wasn't coincidence because I could watch the weather over here, and it would happen over there.
The El Nino, we were talking about a couple years back, the El Nino and the other one, whatever, that it did over there, and it would make it more hurricanes over here.
Vortex.
Yeah.
Polar vortex.
Polar vortex all winter
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, I mean, the coolest thing I saw was there's a sandstorm over there. We had several sandstorms, but there was one that was.
Yeah, we're about to get hit by a line of storms. We might lose power. That was a pretty good
Yeah,
storm
we
coming
lose
in.
power here too, so it's one of those things.
But what would be funny is the recording camera will still be rolling when we lose power. So that would be. We'll go off. We'll drop offline.
Yeah.
But
No, we'll drop out of light.
Yeah, I know, but it will be like, oh.
But yeah, it was you can see the wall of sand coming at you.
Yeah.
And I talked to my buddy and we're like, yeah, we need to go ahead and get the truck. We need to get out of here now, and because it was just coming. And it
Now, how
was
long
just
were
the
those
movies.
lasting?
Half a day.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as bad. I heard about something that happened previously. It would last for a week.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is half a day.
It's
a day
just
at the
wind?
max.
It's sandstorm.
Yeah, it kicks up all the sand because the sand is it's not like the sand on the beach. Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
Like a chalk line.
Right.
Like that kind of sand. And so.
Right. I mean, I get what you're.
Dust.
No, I mean the railroad does that.
Yeah.
If a storm comes off the water through the storage yard where they store that stuff,
Wind blast.
I've literally watched a wall of coal.
Coal.
Yeah, I've watched it come.
That sounds real pretty.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen what you're talking about. Not for a day. It happened for 5 minutes, but I've seen it come. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is wall. This is a wall. These are walls.
Oh yeah, it goes all the way up to the clouds.
An atmosphere of sand coming at you.
Yeah, it
And
looks
it's
like a
what it is,
thunderhead
it's
coming
like
at
a-
you.
Yeah. Huh?
It's just a windstorm,
Yeah.
and it's contained in that storm and just travels
just
like
rolls it. Yeah.
from cloud.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I've seen those pictures of it, big panoramic visions.
Yep. Yeah. I shared that one photo that was
That's right.
the same day. They had a photographer that took some photos of it as it was coming in.
Yeah.
I saw that online. I was like, yeah, I gotta share that because
Oh,
it was wild. I've never seen anything like that. But
Yeah. And I've never been over there, so I've never seen that before either.
Yeah, it was-
Besides small ones like that you've seen. I've seen that before in places, but not like that.
well, it's funny because the first couple, I was like, oh, a sandstorm, and everyone else was like, nah, okay, kind of. And then one was coming, I was like, okay, I see it, let's go. We need to go. So it was funny, but
Nah, kind of.
yeah. No, they're really into fishing over there. You wouldn't think it, but I was telling Rick. Rick did an interview with me for Kayak, and he asked, hey, how, what have you done with fishing over there, and etc. But the coolest thing was my guy wouldn't deal with his previous advisor. He wouldn't talk to him at all. He had completely ignored him. So whenever my counterpart would show up, he would leave. And so I showed up, and I was cool with him. You know, I didn't try to push my way of doing things on him immediately. And we were talking, and finally one day, I forget why, but I had my cell phone with me in my pocket, and I have all my fish pictures on my cell phone.
Right.
So I pulled him up, and I said, "Hey, do you go fishing?" He goes, "Yeah, I go fishing." So okay, well, let me show you some fish pictures. So I showed him a couple of my fish pictures. He looks at me, he goes, "God sent you to me because I am also a fisherman. I can work with you." I said, "Really? Oh, that's awesome. So you're also a fisherman."
Yeah. So it opened up the door with him, and now you were able to, because he was being a pain in the ass with the other guy.
Yeah, he wouldn't even talk to the other guy.
Talk to him. Yeah.
But then it gets better because then I go, "How big of a fish have you caught?" Because he saw, I'm holding a 49-inch redfish, and he's like, "Okay. Oh, yeah, how big of a fish have you caught?" And he goes, "I don't know, from here to here." I go, "Wow, that's a big fish, but I'll tell you what. Fishermen in America do the same thing that fishermen in Afghanistan do." He goes, what is that? And he goes, "They say they catch a fish from here to here, but it's really a fish from here to here." And so after that, we were best friends. He was like, "Yeah, I think we do that in the same." I said, "Okay." So, after that, it was super easy to work with the guy.
What does he have there? I mean, rivers and stuff?
Yeah.
Ponds, lakes?
A lot of times they don't use, I asked him if he'd used line and hook before, and he said he had. And he said he used worms and kind of the same thing that we do here. Except really, they do it for food. I mean, it's not sport.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, they don't care about I use full contest. And they mostly net.
Yeah.
Had another guy that offered to take me down to another village that was just down the way because they had a river that went through the middle of it. And then he's like, "Yeah, I can get you fresh fish. We can get fish. We can."
Just interested to see what was there.
Yeah.
Fish. I mean, that's.
He never brought it back. He said he was going to, and he never brought it back. I told him I'd pay for it, but
Yeah.
It was very interesting that they were like. They're super into fish because it's protein. They don't get a whole lot of protein, so so not a whole lot of sport over there. But they're still into fish. They're like, that's awesome.
Well, I'm curious to see if there is one, that big.
Yeah, I did not tell them I was catch and release. I think they would have lost their mind until I let this fish go.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Beheaded. You're Satan.
You have so much food, you let this giant fish go.
Right.
So that's.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I mean,
Yeah, Americans don't eat real food.
but it's not processed enough for me.
Right.
I need processed food. That's it.
I gotta imagine there's some catfish type of stuff. It's gotta be
Carp,
catfish,
stuff
carp.
like that. Yeah. Like bluegill type.
Whatever is not wiped out already.
Right.
Yeah.
Something hardy enough to.
Well, I mean, it all comes out of the mountains because they get a lot of snow in the mountains, and so then it all comes out of the mountains.
Trout.
So.
They got streams and stuff. If they're clean, they have trout in them.
Yeah.
And in the mountains, I can't imagine how dirty they could be coming out of the mountains. You know what I mean?
It's not a real populated area out there.
No, I mean, but they all gravitate towards the water,
Yeah.
anyways, because it's the source of life for them.
definitely.
So.
Yeah, it's a desert.
Yeah. Yeah, the green zone is definitely. But.
So we had our demo day. Appomattox.
That was your first demo day.
Yeah.
And that's why I definitely wanted to hit on this because being your first demo day, your first experience, I wanted to tap into that and see how you like that because you've been there before. I've been there plenty of times before, and you knew what to expect. And
I actually enjoy demo days.
I had a blast.
A lot of people don't like them. I really enjoy it.
Shit, I love it.
So
I had a blast. People watching galore.
Yeah.
and all kinds of things going on.
And you're working with people the whole time.
The time went by so fast. I mean, people started at literally 8 o'clock. As soon as people were allowed, technically allowed, because people were already walking around.
Yeah.
As soon as people, I guess, they were watching their phones, and as soon as they technically allowed to ask to get in something, they were. And literally, I don't know what boat moved faster out than the Predator. It was everybody that walked through the place in our. Any ocean kayak.
Dude, the interesting
went out on the Predator.
The most interesting was the older couple that bought Predators. It was 80 years, 70s, 80s, and they wanted to do some trout, some fly fishing in the little creeks and streams and stuff, and they tried all the boats, man. They moved around all the boats.
Oh, this old lady comes up. This is the first thing she comes up, and she's looking around, and I can tell she's looking at the fishing kayaks and everything, and she's standing next to the big game.
Yeah.
And she's like, can I take this one out? I'm like, you can absolutely take this one out, but is there like a real reason that you want to take this specific one out? And she's like, well, no, it just looks comfortable. I was like, so you like this seat? She's like, yeah. I was like, well, we got something like this, not 90 some, you know what I mean, built for like extra large. Like, yeah, this is the big game and big guy. It's been also been known as big guy as well. I mean, it's the barge.
Yeah.
It's, the battleship, the kayak battleship.
Really
it's big.
Yeah, it really did.
It's a and
Kayakbattleship.com.
so that's what I put her in. I put her in the MX to start with, and as she paddled out, I was talking to her husband, and I was like, so what? Do you plan on fishing or just drifting around, or what? He's like, oh, we do some fishing. I was like, what kind of fishing? He's like, fly fishing. And I was like, well, this boat is, you know, you flip this seat up, and you can be on your knees or standing up, and you have
all that
4 feet to drop the line in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just one of the things. It was fun to talk about. You can see them all next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You don't rarely ever get to see them like laid out next to each other like that. I mean, well, I don't work at the kayak shop, but you do.
Yeah, but on the water where you can try.
On the water too. Yeah,
that's the thing is being able to get in. You can get in at the shop. You can get in them all day long and on the floor and you know get the feel of the cockpit, but it still doesn't what it's going to feel like on the water.
Yeah.
Right, when it's moving. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 years ago, I had some people looking at another brand, and it wasn't it wasn't Ocean Kayak, and they're looking at the ride, and they're looking at another brand, and so they all looked at it, and I'm not high pressure. I mean, I sold cars getting through college, but I'm not high pressure. Hey, you like it, you don't. It's no sweat.
My man Richie has skills.
So, so they look at it, and then they're like, well, we want to look at this specific other brand. That's fine. Hey, go knock yourself out. That guy paddled out, and as he's paddling out, he turned around to try to like talk to the people, and there was literally 8 people that I sent over there and said, knock yourself out. Because I'm not worried, you know, either you like it or not, I want you to be in the right kayak. Because I don't want you to have second guess.
That's right.
Plenty of people are going to find our kayaks to be the one for them.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's Jay is with Wilderness, by the way.
Yeah, he's with the Wilderness.
Yeah.
You're Ocean Kayak, and it's not like, even at the shop, I mean, I work at a shop where I don't push Ocean Kayak, I push 3 different boats. I push Moken, you know, Feel Free, the Tarpons, and our Tridents as big water. It's what we do. If they want to do what we do, that's the type of boats that you need for it. So I know it. Yeah, there's not any of that. You know, Ocean Kayak. Yeah, that type of wall.
No, it's not like that at all. Yeah. I mean, even the reps talk to each other, and they're all friends too. So. Yeah. But the guy that was doing the demo actually fell out of the kayak as he was doing the demo, and they all turned right around, walked straight to me, and said, "Where can I buy this kayak?" I mean, you know, it's all fun, and I mean, I enjoy it. But,
well, shit, man, I got to ride boats this time. Last time I didn't ride any boats because I was riding.
I thought that was really cool. I've never seen anything like that actually. I was surprised to see you actually get to go and try out all the other boats because I've never done anything like that.
And you always go.
Especially when you're working at the shop.
Working at the shop now too. So this is like not only do I answer emails like this, but now I'm like this is my job at work.
Did I see you kick? Did you kick?
No, I didn't kick, but I did paddle.
The paddle one. You said you like the paddle
Yes,
one.
I'm going to get to that. I'm working my way down. I'm trying to remember. What I didn't ride was Rogowski's boats, the Hurricanes, because they were up there, and I started this one.
Oh, dude, and the bottom was terrible there. He said the bottom was terrible there, the rocks.
But I still needed to paddle that boat.
Well, we have his too.
Yeah. And I think I have.
You might go out to the surf with me tomorrow.
Oof. But I didn't ride his, but I meant to, but I forgot to. So I went down over. Of course, after I read everything, I rode the tarpon. You're like, right, tarpon. I already know what this feels like. I know it's an awesome paddling boat. I know what it is.
I feel left out.
I know. But it's like I already know the tarpon's awesome.
It's the same boat it's been for a long time. I mean, they changed some features on it.
Yeah, but it's still it's
the whole bottom boat. It's the same. Yeah.
If you were on distance
and
distance track and all that great stuff, for the 14, boom, got it. You good. And so then I went there, and what was next to that was Feel Free was right next to it. So I rode the Moken 14, right? I'm trying to ride all the comparable boats to our 13s.
Right.
They've been doing pretty well lately.
Man, dude, I was actually, from looking at the hull at the shop and seeing it rounded, I was thinking it was more like a tarpon where it's kind of a little bit rolly. Tarpons are a little bit more a sit inside type of feel to it, which gives it an incredible amount of speed.
Right.
So I was thinking it was more like that, and it actually had more primary stability than I thought. It actually hung, it caught a lot better than I thought. It paddled really good. It had a little bit of bow slap that I thought I could hear a little bit more, and the big wheel in the back, which is an awesome feature for carrying around, I could feel it. I could feel
dude,
it.
it looked. It was like turning.
I could feel
like,
it.
It was like turning the water behind you.
And then when I did a turn, it was like woo. It was a big. It's just because it's wide. You know, the keel is this wide, so it's the actual keel of it. So I could feel the wide keel, but the boat itself, awesome paddling right there with our Tritons.
Can you stand up in it and everything like the lure?
Did I stand up? Yeah, I did stand up. Yeah, that was fine. Not as stable as the lure. Lure is a tri-hull, but yeah, it has those and this is the cool thing about that. They have a platform too. I mean, that's kind of cool. So I dug that. Then I went to the Hobie paddling boat, and that thing was smooth as hell. No bow noise.
Hobie's been building boats and watercraft for hundreds.
And that bow was smooth. That was like
years now?
no noise up there. It's just cutting right through. And the foot pedals were like this. The foot pedals were in the middle. So my foot was able to push because I use my feet a lot. You know, I push. So I was able to actually rotate.
Oh, so it's instead of on the sides.
Yeah, it's pivoted, so you can actually feel like this. So I was pushing my feet like this, and that kind of was neat. So that felt really good. And then I went to, was it Jackson was right next? Yeah. I went to
Jackson and then Mark.
Yeah, well, I went to Mark, and then I went to Mark first, and then went to Jackson. So, and then I rode the not the Propel, but the one is like that, the Slayer.
Yeah,
right, the Slayer.
Yep.
And
is that the one Mark uses all the time?
Yeah, the same.
That or their
His wife has a Propel.
Yeah,
and then he has
the
a Slayer.
Propel. I didn't ride a Propel. I should have rode a Propel because the hull is different on that, but it's kind of the same deck layout as the Slayer. But I tell you, the Slayer, it was way wobblier than I thought. It didn't have a real good primary stability, but it was still stable. But it was just that wobble. You know, I imagine if you put more weight into it, it'd probably be a little bit lower and still. But great seat. It's one of those comfortable seats, and had a rolling, had kind of, instead of it flattened out and you kind of sit inside of it, kind of rolls, a little bit better constructed seat. I kind of like that about that. And then I did, what was the other one? Oh, the canoe one. The
new canoe?
No, not canoe one, but Natives hybrid canoe boat.
I don't know the name of it.
Yeah, it's the Ultimate. No, Ultra. Is it Ultimate? Yeah,
Ultimate.
Ultimate. Yeah.
That's the one Mark uses.
That bitch is smooth. That was smooth.
That's the one Mark uses all the time. Is the Ultimate.
Really smooth paddling boat.
That's the canoe hybrid thing.
Yeah. Really smooth. I really like that. Like that. That's really good for inside water.
Next year I'm gonna have to try it once just to see.
Yeah, totally. It's really good to do. And then I rode the Kusa, which well, I actually rode the big rig, and that's exactly what that was.
Did you?
It was huge, humongous, humongous. But
is that the flat platform?
Yes,
that's the flat platform.
Yes, with the bar on it. And stand up, walk around, and nothing is
that's not their
platform.
That's not their
sup though. Their sup.
It's not their sup. It's not their sup.
Thing is a monster.
Yeah.
But it was exactly what it was.
The Drew's little sup looked awesome, and the whole day, all I could think about is, man, I'm gonna sneak over there and while he's not looking to slide that thing in the water and just go catch He had rods, rigs, everything on it. I was like, man, I'm gonna take little Drew. He didn't even barely know me. I'm gonna take it in the water.
I'm gonna take his rig.
I'm gonna take that, put it in the water, and catch the whole of it. Yeah,
that would have been great.
Well, Native's got a stand-up also, the Versaboard. So it's in that.
I don't know if it was there. Did they have one?
I don't know if it's there, but we know we have it in the shop, and it can put a seat on it. I mean, it's basically what that is that is a stand-up kayak. They don't really call it a stand-up board, so to speak, because you can put a seat on it. You fishing rods and shit like that. So I think and the hull is different. The hull is more like a boat than this actual stand-up.
Yeah, Drew's, if you want the Jackson one is like a stand-up.
Yeah. But it still has more hull design than a standard stand-up. I mean, I think that's turning into hybrids,
right?
Rather than where you have a true kayak, it's turning into hybrids with these fishing stand-ups, which are great. And then I rode the Cuda, right? The Cuda 14. When I was sitting in the low position, it felt good. It felt like a regular, good boat. Just sits up a little high, but the stability was great. I mean, actually great.
Right.
And as soon as I put it up in that high seat, it was a different boat. It went from whoa.
Yeah.
It went from all right.
Center of gravity got raised.
Yeah, but not only that much. It was so weird to me that much of a difference.
Was it just a couple inches?
Yeah. It was. Yeah. It's not even that far.
Whatever the seat difference. You know what I mean.
Yeah, but it wasn't that much. I wouldn't think it would be that much.
Right. It's the same kind of lift. I didn't even look at it that well. Is it the same amount of lift like as the Predator from
basically? Yeah. And in the Predator, it's not that there's no stability factor.
No, it's the same though.
But in the low chair, it felt great. It felt like a good paddling boat. It felt like I can go anywhere. But you put it in the high seat, it was like a whole different. It felt like a different thing. And I think that was it. I think that's all I paddled. Yeah. So that was fun. That was cool. That was fun to do.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that next year.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good.
Like I've never been in a sit inside, so like this year I was like, before we put the kayaks up, okay, there's a couple things I gotta do. So I jumped on a sit inside.
Yep.
Took it out.
How'd you like that?
It was fast. I liked
Fast
it a
as
lot.
shit.
Like I was like, this is great. It was only 14 foot,
Yeah.
but it was
Like rocket.
at least as fast as my
And
16
no
foot
resistance.
sound. Yeah.
And what I did also when I was testing these boats is paddle, get my regular cadence going, and then stop and see how long
See,
it glides.
yeah.
That was
So
just
like
another
I was
thing.
practicing
Huh?
like turning.
You get nothing out of the Moken.
Mocha wasn't bad.
No.
You don't get nothing out of the big game. That shit stops.
Yeah.
That thing is just.
It's a beastie boat. It's a beastie boat. But it didn't paddle as hard as I used to, but it's still
I've seen
big.
someone put it to its test.
Yeah.
There were some folks out there that put that thing to its test. I know how it happened.
It was funny when he put your first guy that came in was about 300 pounder.
Oh, boy.
And I've never seen so much water in AMX. Never
Yeah.
seen so much water.
Yeah, he's like,
pushed
why is
through.
there so you can't tell like. He's like, why is there so much water? I'm like,
Scupper plugs. Plug the scuppers.
It was.
if you plug the scuppers, it
never,
might just roll over.
yeah, I never knew there was. Yeah, I had, me and
The
my whole life.
back of
I had
it
3
literally-
cameras
Yeah.
on it before, and it didn't put any water in that boat. But that was a big dude. And that was like one of the first things Greg was like, that guy needed to be in a 13. Hey, did you see the teasers for the new Predator?
No.
They're,
Oh
it's,
yeah.
Yeah, it's either it's just self-propelled, not self-propelled,
Right,
but
it's either,
hands-free is what they're calling it.
it's either.
I have not seen any.
they're-
I am whatever I say here is completely talking shit because I have no idea. They haven't let me know of anything. Those are not.
It
like,
could be satire on the internet, but it's
could-
something.
yeah, so I don't know. All I've seen and all the information I know about is what is out right now in the teaser. So I am not in any kind of loop with this one.
It's either a kick.
It's either a kick or a pedal or it's probably more of a pedal. I would imagine because
or because
Brum brum.
yeah,
Might be
they,
a brum,
they
but
could
just-
have an engine on it.
like an actual
Well,
key engine.
No,
or a
but-
plug-in engine.
yeah, plug in. But I mean, who knows? I
Yeah,
mean,
who knows? But now they already have the torque, and that's a damn good boat. That's a Trident 13 with the engine in it. You know, that's a
Yeah,
good
but
boat.
it's
It
not
paddles.
the same as the Predator. It
With
doesn't
the comfort.
allow
Nah, with the
my
comfort.
man doesn't get to sit in it.
Yeah.
I do think he bought a big game.
Yeah, and that is
That's
the
the
one.
right kayak,
That's,
yeah.
He came back. They left. He came back. He tried it again.
Yeah.
People are so timid. If you come to these things, don't be timid. Everybody's there to do the same thing.
Yeah.
seriously,
Yeah.
you can go to any brand and
Everyone is going to be
ask
nice
them.
to you.
Ask them. It doesn't matter. You can come back 10 times and you can paddle the same kayak 10 times
Yeah.
and then go try someone else's 10 times. I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as
Yeah,
you're
you're
think
getting
that
it
you're in the
right.
right kayak. I'm gonna try to put you in the right kayak, and so is everyone else. No one is gonna try to put you in the wrong kayak.
Yeah, like I said about the old lady, I was like, I asked her, is there any specific reason you want to sit in this big game? Like, because you don't belong in it, but if you're buying it for your 250 pound son and he's just not here and you just want to sit in it to have fun, that's fine. Here you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
have
exactly.
fun.
That's exactly what it
But
is.
if you're buying it for you, there's no real reason this 90 pound 55, 65-year-old lady, she might have been 65.
Right.
Needed an ocean kayak big game.
Yeah.
Didn't need it.
And it was like you said, you saw that she was in the seat, and then put her in the seat in the in the Predators, which is the comfort. Yeah. Yeah.
I had a lady come up and yelp right off the bat. The first thing she
I was gonna bring this one
said,
up too.
the first thing she says, she walks up and she's like, "How much does this one weigh?" And points at the 13, I think. I was like right around 80 pounds. I don't want an 80-pound kayak. I was like, "You are attracted to this type of lawn chair seat in the kayaks?" She's like, "Yeah, that's what I want." I was like, "Well, you're gonna be looking at about 80 pounds." For,
Most of
she
them.
literally, I hadn't even finished. She was walking away, just walking away. Like, I mean, you can't get offended by
No.
people that
Yeah.
are just jerks in general. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know what her problem was at that moment.
Well, no. Well, later on, I overheard her talking to her husband, and it wasn't that moment. That's just the way she was.
Right.
She was,
Oh, I know. I already know the one you're talking about.
She was just a mean lady.
I know the one you're talking about.
And that's the way, that's
So she,
you just kind of have to.
yeah. So she
Yeah.
came back. She came back and was just as nice And she was like, may I sit in this boat? And I knew exactly who it was and exactly her. And I didn't say anything to her. You know what I mean?
Please.
But they bought Predators.
Yep.
I'm almost sure. I didn't ask anyone if they were buying anything.
We don't actually know.
I didn't ask anyone if they wanted to buy anything. I don't ask.
Yeah, because we're showing them at that point, and they go to the shop to get them, and so we don't really even know until later on who sells what.
Yeah, nobody's told us yet.
And that's why there's not really a big competition, because the whole demo day is one shop. The one shop is the ones it's put on by
the
one
same
shop.
person selling
Appomattox. Yeah,
He's happy either way.
He's real happy when you go buy those pro anglers, though.
Yeah.
Real happy. Come in with your $3,800 and your pals.
Yeah, one go out there today. Gotta put it on a trailer. Thing
It's about $3,800.
I think it's not. It's not.
Is that about what it is?
No, it's 3. It's 3, isn't it? Yeah, it's 3. It's not that. It's not 38.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 3. And but yeah, you put it on a trailer. It's not that heavy when you're doing a 2-man and it's empty. When that thing doesn't have like the seat and the driving, it's not that bad. We can take it out the door and all that stuff, but yeah.
I've seen people back the trailer in the water, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I wouldn't want to drag it by myself.
No, you've seen people kick with the wheels on the bottom still in the water.
Oh shit! Like strapped on?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Their wheels are still.
Hell yeah! That's being excited. We don't some shit. That's being excited.
Right in the water.
We've done some dumb shit like that before too. We've left our cars open.
Oh, dude, yeah. Back in the day,
See, that's being excited. I know what that is.
dude, and it's amazing. That was Kip to Peak back in the day, dude. Literally, both of us left our car doors open. My wallet
wide open.
open, not unlocked. Open.
With
great.
shit like extra reels,
My
rods,
extra
and
reels,
shit
rods.
inside.
My wallet was in the front seat of the truck.
Like
We just get
it.
it like go. We're fucking
They were.
fucking
This was
truck.
back in the day when
Yeah.
they were biting, and
Yeah.
we were gonna get there when the tide changed, and we smoked them probably that day. And it's happened more than once. It's happened at Wise Point. We left our shit open at Wise Point.
Yeah.
Going drum fishing.
Yeah. Just
funny.
Yeah.
Get back and go. Damn.
That's great. That is absolutely great.
So yeah, I can understand a guy pushing his boat in the water and he's just going. That's it. He's going. And you go, man, that sure feels draggy.
Right.
Feel like something's holding me down.
That's a little bit slower.
We I wanted to get Beckley and Richie in this week because Beckley caught a COVID.
They're both the same person.
Huh? Oh, Beckley and Galski. Got me.
Richie and Becca Lay both
Richie and
caught
Becca
one.
Lay.
They both caught it.
Did they?
No, Richie and Becca
And
Lay.
Beckley.
Oh, yeah.
See, just didn't mean to
I've been had.
They both caught the exact same size one. It was weird.
But that day was
At the same damn time.
Yeah.
we went out. I wanted to get
Anytime.
at least Wigalski and Beckley in, but I think we're gonna try and get it next week. So I'm gonna tell a little bit. I'm telling my part of the story anyway, because we went out and they had chum, so they set up some chum, and I just I was paddling around, but it was a little too windy for me to really get some sight casting in. So I basically left earlier. I looked around, saw that baby on a ray, and I didn't even seriously pitch at it. He was too small to eat the croaker that I had. I mean, he was that big. Maybe.
See, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm gonna throw. I'm rigged up with a bucktail.
Yeah. I need to steal one of yours. 'Cause I
I've
just
got
need
one.
I just need
I've
one.
got a good one for you.
Yeah.
I saw them. They're fancy.
No.
Oh.
I got another school down.
Yeah. I need that, and I need to. I think I need to put another rod together for that. Because I haven't even got a rod for that. I'm just straight live bait with that when I'm out there. Oh, and there was a question on something about cobia fishing, I think.
Are we done with the demo day? The drone is awesome.
Oh,
Those pictures, that thing is sick, dude.
yeah.
Those drones are awesome.
Yeah. And not as noisy as I thought. He was making it sound like it was like a swarm of bees. It was
it is.
Yeah, it's a small swarm of bees.
Yeah.
It's not like, killer bees.
In
And shit.
Afghanistan, they got a giant one, just like that. I swear, it's giant.
Yeah, but that thing's got weapons on
I
it.
heard it, and I was in my office, and I heard it. I was like, "What is this sound?"
We got a question for you. Remind me of that after we talk about the cobias.
Yeah.
What was I looking up?
Just
Okay,
questions,
so that
just whatever
question in
questions
general.
were. Just whatever the questions were on the thing.
Because we're right next to the Afghan base, but I heard it. I was like, well, "What is this?" In the office, I walk outside, and there's this giant, pretty much looks exactly the same, but it's giant.
huge.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's just hovering over us. I'm like. Like great, Psyops is watching us now. This is great. So it was
Sure,
fun.
you're all working.
Better go back in the office.
The guy wants to know what we carry. What's a good setup to carry in case you see a cobia cruising while you're out?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to be ready. You're not going to have time to get rigged up, so you're going to need a rod rigged up. I mean, if you don't have an eel or a croaker or a spot or something on a hook already, you need a bucktail with a curly tail on it.
That's right.
About a 1 and 2 ounce bucktail. You know, sometimes heavier depending on how hard the current is, but you're fishing from the kayak. You're not going to be throwing that far, and you're in the kayak. It's not going to be that windy.
It's not going to be throwing that far at all. That's
you're not going to be throwing that far, and it's not going to be that windy.
Right.
You're in the kayak.
And hopefully current's not
But yeah,
hopefully.
Also, you want to beef up your tackle. You don't want to.
I mean, you want to throw a 1 ounce bucktail at least, and you want to make sure it's got a good hook. These little 1 ounce spros, you're gonna break them.
And rod and reel, good rod and reel too. Not like I wouldn't take my St. Croix out there. It's a 2 ounce St. Croix. I've handled 50-inch reds with it, but I'm not gonna go out there where I'm at maybe 30 foot of water at maybe some point and try to bring it up with a St. Croix.
Yeah.
I'll break that thing. I know I'll break it if trying to put pressure on it. Now my musky rod, that's the lightest I will go. It's the lightest I will go.
I've never caught one, but I have a medium heavy Therese with the 8,000 spinning reel with a 2 ounce.
I've got an 8,000 spinning reel on my ugly stick. I've got the
the video is that shows that.
Yeah, and the reel is too big actually. I mean, you don't need the reel that big. It's good for when you go do other stuff.
Yeah.
I take that same setup and drift live baits over wrecks and stuff like that. You know, and to jig over wrecks and stuff 150, 200 feet deep.
Yeah.
So
Yep. The line for that.
Yeah.
You just don't know what you're gonna get out there.
Right. Well, I mean,
wrecks and stuff.
you gotta get to the bottom too.
One thing, I mean, when I was doing the bait crossings, I would always have like something to cast at them, and it's the thing is, it's really quick. Unless you're looking for them, when you see them, they're gonna already be looking at you because you're like, oh, there he is, looking right at me, and that's
they
all
like
you
the
got.
kayak. They like the kayak, and as soon as they look at you, you're no longer going to catch them.
That's it.
They're not going to catch them. They're going to hang out.
Another thing was, you said it was great when we were talking about one of the guys was like really jumpy the other day, and he was like casting at everything like flipped, you know, and he was just like casting at everything, and you said it's with cobia fishing, it's never what was that? It's there he is.
Right. The very first time I went out with Rick looking this year.
And that's huge because every time I've seen it, it's not what was that. If it's what was that, it doesn't matter what it is because it's already gone. You've already spooked it, or it wasn't shit. It was a Menhaden shine, you know, whatever.
Right.
But when you see him, when you see it, it's that's
these
him.
Snickers bars swimming through the water.
Yeah.
It's unmistakable. They look like Snickers bars. I mean, the water may not be crystal clear all the time in the bay, but these things are brown.
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah. And the one I saw, I didn't even have to stand up and get an eyeball on it because the way it was swimming, it did a cutback where no ray could do that. No ray can like bend its body like a shark, you know, and turn around like that. You know, do a U-turn. No rays do that. Sharks do that, but it didn't have the shark color. You know, it didn't have a fin either. It was real, just all little teenies, and that's why I knew what it was. But it's what it is. Like you said, it's like it's never what was that. It's there. It is.
Oh yeah, I mean I was standing on the front of Rick's boat and we hadn't been looking for 5 minutes the first time I went. I haven't seen one since.
Mm-hmm.
But the very first time we went out this year, we hadn't been looking for 5 minutes, and immediately I was like, cobia. You know what I mean? It's not. What is that? It wasn't a random fish swimming around. I mean.
You know.
As soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. We didn't get a shot to even cast at it, but
yeah. But like that day when we went on Mothership with Rick and went on the boat, I mean, we saw 8 of them that day, and I probably there he is. I mean, just a big log basically in between the pilings.
Yep.
You know, spade fish. Oh, there's a big brown cobia right there. There he is, right there.
I can't wait to get my boat out there.
Yeah. Yep.
Other than that, no.
But
comments.
you will have to wait.
Yeah.
By the way, when we're ready, we'll bash somebody on the internet.
Yeah.
It's not time yet.
They've had it since March 22nd.
No, they can't be working on it. They're just like hanging out. They like it. They drink beers with it. You know what I mean?
It's gonna have 100x hours on the engine.
What'd you have to do?
Cobia tower.
Oh, you put a cobia.
Yeah, I'm getting the full tower put on, but they've had it since March 22nd.
They took half of his money in the end of March, and it's now almost the end of June. Right, that's what I'm saying.
Still in business. Highly recommend it. Still in business.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll wait. Hopefully he's working on it this week.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it'll be great work.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yep.
It better be.
When you're looking at a 3.5, 4 month wait, it better be amazing. It's gonna be a work of art.
Yeah.
That's what I've decided.
And he decided when he was going to take it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it was offered to him before that.
Yeah.
He decided when he was going to take it. So.
So, but
You know, a couple more weeks they're gonna be gone out of the Hampton area.
They just moved farther offshore there.
Yeah.
A lot further offshore there. But about that time they start scattering out.
Yeah, and I might on the slack current days, and if we get a nice slack, totally slack, I might try to go paddle between the second and third.
It's best to wait till like the middle of July and not till August to go do that.
Yeah. Because as soon as they leave out of here, we're gonna have a pretty good gap on them.
speaking of, I was gonna try to borrow one of those sit-insides. I was gonna.
They do that?
Cause I did the crossing with the sit on top.
Yeah.
Like y'all have done, and then but I was like, it might be a little bit easier if I do that sit inside.
Jake Stanhope, I forgot his last name, but the guy who did the big loop, but he was doing it in a not Josh, the guy who did it in sit on top. This is Jake. A couple of years before he did it in the sit inside. Mm-hmm. He went from Hampton to the Eastern Shore in like 4 hours.
Yeah, it would be so much faster.
But that's also probably the better way to cross the bay. You got to if you take outgoing current, you can pretty much run the current.
Yeah, you're just
outgoing current with a south wind.
Where do you land, Chicks?
No, over here up Eastern Shore. He went from Hampton to Eastern Shore. He launched in Hampton.
He crossed the entire bay.
He crossed.
There's only one. I mean, you only crossed the channel one time.
Two.
No,
once.
Once. The middle of the bay, Baltimore channel.
But the current it's out.
Yeah, I mean, you cross the channel once you get.
It's all going out. It's all going out. So I mean, on an outgoing current, you have an
outgoing current with a south wind, and you are.
The day he did it, it was like a dead calm day. It was like
okay. I mean, that would help.
Yeah.
But I mean, the south wind would push you.
It would push you right up. Or southwest would be better.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. I had that north wind blowing right in my face.
Oh, dude, we got fucked
over 20.
Kevin's been fucked on that paddle more times than you want to.
I'm 4-1.
Good old fish weather, right on the dot.
Beat me once.
Oh, it's supposed to lay down today?
Oh, no,
small craft advisory afterwards, yeah.
The time I decided to do it with him, it was like 4 footers when we came across the shoals over there.
It's just tough as shit.
By then I was hurting.
You were tendonitis had gotten you, and you were out for weeks after that.
Between the third and fourth scared me. The waves that were out there.
We crossed it in goddamn fog with the
Navy ships barreling in.
Like fast, like speed ships, like the battleships, the small battleship ones, like
the destroyers are just.
I guess they're the small destroyers, the really small ones, yeah.
Frigates,
frigates, I guess. Yeah, they got weapons and shit, but they're fast. And they ran. Oh boy,
don't care.
Yeah, oh, they
going home.
See us. Yeah, they were going out.
Oh well.
Yeah, they have a big wake on that thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen some big waves that day.
Yeah, in the fog.
Fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
I got to the first island. I was like, I'm not turning back now.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand, dude. The Pirates of Lynnhaven tried to do the crossing, and they had the wind
of them
with them
crossed, and 2 of them finished.
2 finished. One of them quit.
Was one.
2 more guys quit at like the second island.
Yeah, where you can see shore.
They went from the eastern shore, and someone quit at the second island.
Yeah.
How do you?
You're there. You're no matter how much you're in pain, you're there. You're at the finish line.
We went from this side of the eastern shore, and you had no motherfucking choice.
Yeah.
By the time we got to the high rise, the current was going out so damn hard. It was ugly. A couple of times I got up around Fisherman's Island and literally just like got close to the shore and just walked my boat just because my wrist hurt so bad I didn't want to paddle anymore.
Yeah.
But I had to.
Yeah, we weren't done
and
yet.
you can't.
You gotta make it. I mean, there's no choice.
Can't get picked up here.
Yeah, it's wild. Well, if you got time, let me tell you about that. That mothership trip I took with.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, forget damn right.
That's what this shit is about, dude. We talk about everything.
Big time thing. We got it because we already talked about
minutes.
I started this about 10 minutes later, so we're good. We still got.
Oh, okay.
An hour. We still got an hour. No, 45 minutes, like you said, right?
You say it's. Well, what does it say now? It's almost at 45.
45, yeah.
So it's 55. So you got 35 minutes.
Yeah.
For an hour and a half for one show.
Because I only got like 5 minutes to talk.
What was cool was you guys.
No, man, but I've done this shit before, so we'll get into it. I'm gonna go grab another beer.
Yeah, you went on mothership, and that was a Sunday after the demo day, and it was blowing here.
It was stupid. But it
was blowing here. But you guys had glass.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful out there. Yeah. Like it was beautiful. What absolutely killed me was that you
did a rock Troy.
I went to the pier. I went to the pier the night before. And I had a couple of beers, and me and Billy, we had a couple of beers. And then I went to bed. I got 3 hours of sleep, but I didn't sleep well because I thought I was gonna miss my alarm, and I could not miss the demo day. So I thought I was gonna miss my alarm because I was Billy's ride. So I really couldn't be late. So finally, my alarm wakes me up 3 hours later. Not good sleep. I'm already loaded up, ready to go. I drive to Billy, pick him up. We drive, what is it, like nearly 4 hours? Or 3 hours?
Three and a half, yeah.
So, drive up to Farmville, work all day in the sun. You know, and then at the end, it's tradition, you have a couple of beers or whatever. So I have a couple of beers, have a big barbecue. Didn't have lunch, so now I have all those calories.
Yeah.
Have the beer, I'm already tired.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we get to drive all the way back, drop Billy off.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had to come here and then go.
Yeah. Well,
you had to come back.
Then I had to pack all my marine stuff into my truck.
Oh, we passed you. I was flying.
Yeah.
I was trying to get over to the fight.
Yeah, I knew. We knew exactly.
Dying
We knew you were going to see the fight.
Because the thing is, when they show, get back to the story.
Yeah.
When they show them on TV, I can't watch them because I can't watch them after. Like if you're when they're online, they have this thing online, and you can like it's a pay-per-view pass type of thing.
Yep.
And you can go back and watch it again. But when it's on TV, I just like. Luckily, they showed the main card later, but I did see the main card. I got home at 8 o'clock.
We saw you flying.
Yeah, flying.
Must be a fight night.
Yeah. I was trying to watch it on my phone, and Lee was like, "No."
We're not going to be driving. We're not going to be watching fights.
And I think the only one that was on was like the first fight was on the first prelim one. And I ended up watching that one because that was online. But yeah, the rest of them were on TV.
I knew it when you passed me. I already knew.
Fine.
You
guys trying to keep up. I was like, yeah.
I couldn't even keep up. And I drive fast. I got pulled over today. But
I got my eyes open, and I drive real strategically too. So I'm like, if I got cars lined up, if I got cars
in a fight, just driving.
I'm real strategic. Like kick that mother. At one point, this motherfucker flips up the hatch. The center hatch, he got his left foot, he driving with his left foot.
I don't have cruise control, man. I don't have cruise control, so
I
have to.
cruise control.
I have to.
I
I can't put it on my truck. I was looking to get it on my truck, and they said they can't put it on. My right leg gets just hemmed up. My IT band just fucking gets as tight as shit. Like it hurts bad, so I have to like fix it over and I bring this
roll
leg
it
out.
out. You got one of those rollers?
Yeah, I do, but I can't do it while I'm driving because I can't stop. So I actually drive with my left foot. And Lee's like, oh shit, this is sketchy, but I'm good at it. I'm actually gotten good at it. But it's a whole maneuver thing I have to do. I have to put the thing up and undo my seatbelt and get up and pain in the ass. So okay, so you guys get home, drop Rogowski off, and
I get home at 10, and then
oh wow, you 2 hours. I was there at 8.
All right, yeah. So I'm home at 10, pack up my truck. By 11, I'm leaving. So then I drive all the way down to Hatteras, North Carolina. Yeah, it's
Hatteras or
he went to
Hatteras. Yeah, I went to Hatteras.
He went out of teaches.
Yeah, Hatteras was like 4 hours. Yeah.
Yes.
No,
So
three and a half.
Oh no, it was
middle of the night. Middle of the night 4.
There was a lot of cops actually.
Middle of the night and tired as fuck.
It was Saturday night too. That's why. But So I get down there. I crash. So I got like an hour of sleep, and that was actually pretty good hour of sleep.
Yeah.
And then I wake up because someone else's truck parks next to me. I look up, there's a kayak on top. Okay, well I guess it's that time. So get up, start loading all the kayaks onto the boat, which was an awesome boat. It was
6 kayaks. Is that what I saw on the daisy chain?
It was 6.
Yeah.
It was 6 kayaks. So Rob brought his kayaks. There was 4 up front, and because I had the 14 with me, we put that one in the back. And they got a pretty cool system. It's just like PVC 2 squares on the very back on the tuna tower.
Right.
So you stick it up through the squares, and and then you slide it back down, and it hits the transom.
Yeah.
And it just sits right there. So it's
Oh,
cool.
so they set it
Yeah.
up.
Oh no, yeah, they've thought about it. They put thought
This is
into
something
this.
they do.
Like,
What's the charter name?
This is I want to say it's like Twisted Tuna.
No.
But that's not the name of the boat. That's like the charter. But the name of the boat I want to say is Real Naughty.
Real Naughty.
Yeah.
Okay. You know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the name of the actual boat.
NAUTI.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And so the guys were cool about it. Loaded everything up. So I looked at Rob and said, "Okay, man, how long we got?" And this is Rob Alderman with
Yeah.
So
Robert,
with Outer Banks kayak fishing. So
We got a sticker up here somewhere.
But
If he had a sticker.
I think he has one.
but yeah, look him up. It's on my website. I threw his link on my website.
Just below this one on YouTube, you'll see his links too because we did a 2-parter with him.
So, but yeah, so I talked to him about how long we got. He goes, "Man, you probably got an hour." So
Crash out again.
yeah, I went straight to the head of the boat. There was a nice bed, and I made everyone jealous because I was out, like drooling, like just gone. So then someone woke me up and said, "Hey, Rob wants to talk to you." Before I could even take a leak and get to the back, they started slowing down. I was like, okay.
You were out there already.
Yeah. And so, so I got 2 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And we got out there and they said, hey, grass lines weren't where we thought they were. But we're at the tower and it's covered up in AJ's right now. Yeah. I just want to, catch one and get it out of the way. Hell yeah, I do. You know what I mean? I've had bad luck. Like I said, I was trying to get all of my fishing done. And in like 3 or 4 days, and I was fishing in bad conditions, and I mean it was right between, like you said, it was right between like 2 seasons, the spring season, the summer season. It was kind of in the gray area where neither one is good, but it's kind of hit or miss. Yeah, I mean you can have a good day, it's just you got to hit it right.
You could be a bad day too.
Yeah, and so I'd already had 3 bad days, so I was like, you know what? I looked at the mate, I was like, hell yeah, I want to catch a fish. If I catch a fish, I'll be happy. So. Had some of those big old jigs from Billy let me borrow 3 jigs. So I took those out there and dropped them straight to the bottom, jigging them up. I think Rob hooked up first.
Dude, the video is shot of just real quick underwater.
Yeah.
Dolphins and shit too down there.
Yeah.
You didn't catch none of those?
No dolphins.
AJs too quick to get on the baits?
Well, it was crazy because there's so many AJs out there, but because it's so clear, they're all smart. They watch you. They knew exactly what was happening. I mean, that tower gets hit all the time. So they knew exactly what was going on. But, so I hooked up, got one on the boat. And they said, well, we still don't see any grass lines out here. You want to launch kayaks and get on these AJs? Yeah. Well, yes, I do. Yeah, I mean, because if I get that out of the way, I'm, cool. So sure enough, we launched kayaks and I hooked up twice. So first one took me right into the tower, real smart. Okay. So I lost that one. Rigged back up again. Hooked up, right into the tower. So the third one, I said, you know what? No more. I had that release reel. So, same thing with the medium heavy Jerez. So I hooked up, got the good hook set, and I pushed that sucker straight all the way to the front. And I held it to the front of the kayak, obviously to take you over with that much drag. Yeah. And it was a race because he started taking off to the tower, and it was a race, man. I just kept cranking, just trying to, finally got
veered him. You just kind of veered him enough to.
No, I didn't. I mean, it was a race between if I could get him into the kayak before he got to the tower. Because
how far out were you?
I think it was like 15 miles out.
Now, how far were you from the tower?
Oh, most of them were right next to the tower. Yeah, okay. So you'd want to try to hook them away from it, but really,
I saw
more
the video
hookups
the legs are really far apart. Was it that?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a big house up there. That's what it looks like, but. Even in that video, you see me like when that's me, and you'll see me on the left side of the screen. He'll go underwater, and I think he's trying to see. I think I just hooked up at that point, and then he comes back up, and I'm already over here because that fish just
started moving.
Oh no, he was laughing because you could see the wake behind me. It was just beeline. Like they're smart. I mean they make a living. They eat the chum that people throw out there, and then they get hooked up and they make a run for it. And most of them get released anyway. So even if they get brought in the boat, they're going to get released. So they learn pretty quick. So, I mean, it was just crazy that
so strong.
Yeah.
I mean, I've caught them out of the kayak.
Yeah,
I caught them like 30 pounds out of the kayak. I mean, it's just they're so strong. It's stupid.
It was just so crazy when you put that video in the water and just the dolphins. That was amazing.
It was just,
I mean, you see the AJs, but there was a lot of dolphins down there, and they look like this, right? I mean, they were about that. There's dolphins from the AJ size. The AJ size were about like this, right? It looked like you guys were holding them up about 40 inches, maybe.
Yeah, we were talking about that tonight. Probably a 40 and under. So I mean, I had one that even after I learned my lesson, I went forward, and it was faster than any of the other ones, and it was not stopping. And I had the sucker. It was stupid because I only got 40-pound braid on there, so I don't want to go too heavy. But he was making the beeline.
65 to 80.
You got a big reel like that, you could put some big line on.
Yeah, it was.
It's not even that big.
Yeah, he was making the beeline, and I couldn't stop him. Yeah. There's nothing I could have done. Looking back, I wish I would have thrown my fucking rudder out and then just tried to turn them just like that. But.
You can veer him.
Yeah, I mean, but then if I turn and he's still going that way and I get the rod on this way, they're pulling hard. Yeah, there's a couple times where it's kind of shaky. Ended up catching another barracuda out there, so that was cool. Got a couple pictures of that. That was my first barracuda.
You got one of your amberjacks eaten, didn't you?
Yeah, was that you?
Yeah.
That was you. The head of it? How did that happen?
Yeah, that.
How the hell did the head get bit off?
Jay had a shark attack.
Yeah. So, not a whole lot scares me. You know, like, okay, we go out there, like, I flipped on the shoals, I've met, you know, gone through all this stuff. So at this point, if something happens, it happens. It's not a big deal. You know, I went out and I was with Rob the day that he caught his citation. You know, there were sharks everywhere that day.
Yeah.
Not worried one bit.
Yeah.
Went out and we caught several sharks apiece. You know, it was great. Great day. Never was I worried, even though I knew how many sharks were in the water. Because if you fell in there, that would have been nuts. So, but I wasn't worried about it. Well, I hooked something and I didn't think it was an AJ, but it ended up being a small jack. I got him in the tail, so he was slapping that tail, but he was like fighting real funny, and so I was bringing him up.
Like tuna.
Right.
Yeah. So I was
Jack Crevalle, I guess, is that what these are?
No, they're amberjacks.
Yeah.
Oh, a small jack. Okay,
yeah, it was small. He was only like
jack.
this big.
Yeah, I think it was.
And so I'm bringing him up. I think maybe it's a different fish because it just feels completely different. I'm like, and then I see him down there, right? And so he's swimming. I said, okay, I got him tail hooked.
Yeah.
Bringing him up, and right as I'm bringing him out of the water, out of nowhere, does the shark come up, hits it. So if it's me and you, this is my kayak. He hits my kayak, takes the head off this thing.
While you're holding it.
Yeah, I'm pulling it out of the water. He takes the head off. The head off, pushing my kayak sideways,
if you will.
And I look at it, and there is no head. I drop it. I'm done. Yeah. You're not going to come back for this thing, not with it right in my boat. No. So,
you might get that on video?
No, man. That's exactly. Rob goes, are you shooting video? I was like, I don't shoot video, man. He goes, you would have had 1 million hits by Monday. It was Sunday night.
That's one of those.
He was like, that was, but the mate saw it, like, because someone was like,
shark, toothy shark or whatever.
Chompy. Chompy the shark. Yeah, the mate was like, I saw you hooked up over there, so I was watching you. We're about to swing back around. And same thing with Rob. Rob was like, I was watching you, man. You know, I was going to come over there and videotape you.
That bitch.
Like, I'm pulling him out of the water. And someone mentioned on Facebook, you go, it's a good thing you didn't do the leg sweep. And I'm like, even though it's small, it was still like a 7 or 8 pound fish, but I was just going to leader him in.
Yeah.
Thank freaking God, because I never saw the shark coming until he had that fish and he was pushing me sideways. It scared the crap. Like, you can see it still, and when I'm in that picture, that's like 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, I mean, I'm not scared the shark's going to attack my kayak, but it got me. No, out in the middle of nowhere.
You fed him and he pushed you.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks, homie.
Yeah.
Woo.
You know, and then they go, well, how big is it? And I'm like, I always try to go small.
Yeah.
Because,
you don't.
I don't want to be the guy that's like, every fish.
Dude, it was a citation. That was Lydia. I mean, I seen Catherine.
Yeah. That's the one. That was the main.
It was Lydia.
Catherine. I'm like, it's probably 5 or 6 feet, and because it was right here, so it looked bigger, but it would. I keep thinking back, and I'm like, man, the head was literally this big, so.
Yeah, it was a 7-footer.
Yeah, it scared me. I mean, it was a Gulf Stream, so it could have been.
Anything.
Yeah, it's
tiger, shark, bull, shark, and sand.
I didn't want great white.
White shark.
White
shark. Mako shark.
Mako. Mako too. They have small heads. Yeah.
It was pretty brown. So I mean,
it was not a Mako. Mako's come in electric.
Right.
They come in electric color.
But it was outrageous. I absolutely couldn't believe it. And so he was like, every time I come out here, there's always memories. Whenever he comes out there, there's always something that's just like, that's crazy. And that's what happened.
Otto's been so crazy. He deals with that shit nonstop.
He got boiled on when we were out there. We talked about it when we were out there.
I remember.
He got boiled on when
That's
we were
what I'm saying. That's
tuna dripping out the scupper hole. We got 3 of them stacked in the back of the kayak.
So
tuna blood just dripping out of the scupper hole.
Something else that was crazy was when you were paddling out there, and I don't know if you saw this when you went out, but the HAs would come right up on the surface and follow you. Like
whenever I've done it, man, we were jigging them deep.
Maybe it's because the water was so clear, but I asked Rob, I was like, Rob, why are they following me? Because you would turn and you try to pitch to them, but I see you right
You
here.
troll like
Yeah, they don't, yeah, I did that too. I would troll like right behind me.
You
They
know,
don't care.
If you guys had live bait, the only thing, dude.
Yeah,
And that's how
what I said.
you can lure them away from the. Really, honestly,
Right.
this is a little way you can work AJs, and I don't know if they tried it on the boat, and sometimes you can get it to work, and sometimes you can't. But if you hook a couple of them on the boat first, hook them bitches up, pull the throttle,
Right.
pull it away from
And
the
rod
tower,
holders.
and catch the ones that are following it. Just to get the kayaks in the water. Once you get this thing 50 yards away, you'll
then you
still
can
have
catch
a ball of them
Yeah,
underneath
yeah.
of there. Then you got a chance.
Right.
Because at that point, Jack Crevells always go to structure. AJs, once you get them awake, they go to the bottom. The bottom out there is perfectly safe.
Right.
Once you're away from the tower, the bottom is perfectly safe. I mean, and every one of them is the exact same.
How many feet is it out there?
It's around 100 at the tower,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
100,
That's probably
120.
about right.
Okay.
100, 120, I think. Hold on.
We can
I'll
nearly
tell
see
you
the
exactly.
bottom.
Hold on.
But it's not bad. It's not like it's going to take it
Dude.
fathoms deep. And
No. It's crazy. When I went out there, the first time I ever went out there, we went out with live bait. I can't remember who I was with. But we went out, and you look down, and they don't look that big because the water is so clear. And this is Manhattan.
Yeah,
This is
right.
out of the
Yeah,
South
it's-
Tower. The water's so clear, you can see them down there, and you're like, oh man, they're not that big. So you put your croaker on the hook, right? And you start dropping it, it starts swimming down, and it's swimming down, and it's swimming down, and it's swimming down. And this gets smaller and smaller and smaller. All of a sudden you got this speck down there, and they kind of spread out. And then they're kind of like just aimed at this speck. And then all of a sudden,
all
like,
looking.
it's too far that you can't see it fast enough, I guess. I don't know. All of a sudden, like, your speck is there, and then the rod just is like, doink! And they're on.
Oh, on that, yeah. Some more questions on. I think there was a couple more questions on that on the post, but on the cobia thing, what I also do is what I've noticed some other people are doing differently, but they're trolling lines. They have lines way too far back. I'm putting my right at the butt of my boat. I mean, right.
Yeah,
at
I've
the
heard
back
stories.
These
I've
things
never-
are
I've
stupid.
never-
They're going to come right
yeah.
behind you and follow you,
All the
and
ones-
they may eat something.
Might eat some and that's like every time I've seen them, look at me, they've been right next to me. So it's
See, I've never seen
and-
these stupid things.
and the whole thing is, okay, what are you going? You don't have time to pitch. You don't have time to roll up.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
just-
be ready. Yeah, you gotta.
So I have my croaker. The weight is right below the surface, and it's right behind my boat. I mean, the croaker is just right. Whatever live bait I have right behind. So that's the end of that. The one question.
They eat
But there's some
roundheads.
more. Yeah, roundhead. Roundhead don't stay on a hook that well, and a hook through the nose. A hook live baits through the nose, and
The full moon and change your approach to fishing.
not so much. Well,
For the bridge,
typically-
I stay away
just
from
because
the
of currents.
tides.
That's what I was.
I stay out of the
That's the only
current.
thing
That's
that bothers
yeah,
me.
right. Because you can always kind of fish.
That's why I fished the inlet today, and why I didn't fight the current
That's why
going
you
back
went-
in the inlet, and I just paddled down the beach and went home.
Yeah.
Because that's when our currents get really tough. They can max out at almost over 3 on the eastern shore during
Yeah.
this time.
It was
Yeah, like I wanted to fish this weekend, and I saw the current
Yeah.
with the full moon
Yeah.
and Friday the 13th. No,
Yeah.
no. So I'm just not gonna fish this
And
week
also
because
when
the current's stupid.
especially on the eastern shore,
No.
when the current's that bad, it's sandy. It'll kick up sand. If you've ever been across the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel and you've seen it on the day that the current's ripping, you can see the eddies behind the pilings are actually full of sand.
Yeah.
And it kicks up so much sand, so it actually
it's not worth it.
bad. So really depends on the current will stop us from going certain places when it's full moon currents like this and super strong currents. But as in feeding fish and how they act, it's not in saltwater. It's not so much. They say sometimes the stripers will feed at night because they can see bait fish at night,
Right.
and typically that seems like it coincides. Whenever we had stripers at the HRBT and stuff, it seems like we wouldn't get as active when it was a full moon night. And then again, we're trying to sight cast on something with a big bright light right in our face too,
Right.
so it's always kind of tough on us. So I don't that maybe, but mostly for us, it's not one to deal with the current and that kind of making us decide where we're going to go.
Yep.
People that bass fish pay a lot more attention. Like, I guess maybe the inlet guys, because the water will get higher in certain times and stay lower at certain times. So
And
I
higher
guess-
water will bring in more stuff to the water, which activates feeding. So yeah.
But I would never be like, oh, it's a full moon, I have to fish this and this and this.
Right.
Like I'm either gonna fish or I'm not gonna fish,
Yeah.
and it has more to do with the current and the winds.
Yeah.
To me,
I know
for
guys
anything
that
else,
beach
like-
fish pay attention to it.
Yeah,
You
I've
know,
heard that
Yeah.
before.
the moon and the tides. More. We pay attention to the
Tides.
tides and the current a lot.
Yeah.
Not as much the moon.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I hear that the tuna fishing is not as good around the full moon, but tuna fishing right now is phenomenal. It's been clear at night, and
It's full moon.
Full moon.
it's been going into a full moon. They're just smoking them out of Oregon Inlet, and they got them real good out of Virginia Beach today. So
Yep.
Yeah.
get your money right. Sign up at Rudy Inlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
They're catching them. Somebody wants to know about the new ride seat. What do you know about the new ride seat? I guess it's the tall one.
No, it's brand new.
It's a 2-position seat.
Right.
Oh, okay, I didn't know
They're
that.
making a whole new seat for the ride.
I haven't seen the brand new one. I have seen the prototype. The rep brought the prototype out
cool.
during the demo day, so he showed it to me and said, "Hey, look at this. It's nice. It's going to be primarily for like bass fishing or something because out in the salt water, as much paddling as you do, I really like the comfortable seat. Get the lower back support. I know that's not the most popular thing right now. Everyone likes the lawn chair style seat. And that's what they've gone to. Pretty much, it's a 2-position seat. It looks comfortable. Our rep was actually afterwards. He was sitting in it as a lawn chair. He was
A
actually
lot of useful applications for those seats.
No, I mean like if I was a bass fisherman, it'd be great. River fisherman, it would be great. As far as saltwater, like long distance paddling, like we do a lot of paddling.
Open water.
Right.
Well, you want a low seat.
Right, I don't want to be high up. I don't want to catch the
But
wind.
there's already 2 different seats for the ride. There's a low seat and a high seat.
Yeah, and this
Oh,
was supposed to
the
take care of both of them. So that way, right.
But it's not that type of seat. It's more of that lawn chair type
Correct,
of seat. Because the seat that's in the ride is actually a good paddling seat. It's comfortable.
And the high
lighter.
seat,
Yeah.
and the high seat is like the same seat with a bubble underneath of it.
Yep, that's all.
Yeah.
It's for you got tackle storage underneath
Yep.
that seat.
Yeah.
So
It's
the
just
same
a
thing.
plastic.
Yeah.
It's the same
So
seat.
I have both of those because both of those will
Right.
work for me. This one is more like for bass fishing, and y'all know I never go bass fishing. When I go bass fishing, I catch catfish. So, it's supposed to be pretty awesome. I know that they're doing some type of deal right now where if you go and you buy a brand new kayak, you can actually buy it for half off and then they'll give you a gift certificate. Yeah, and then you'll get that whenever it comes in. So. Because
the seat's half off.
Right.
Right.
Not the kayak.
Yeah.
We still watching tonight.
Yeah.
Still watching tonight.
Jay Brooks said half off the guy.
We've been hovering at between 6 and 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was just wondering because of the time if it was late last time and that's why
I
lots of
think
people watched.
somehow just that's what people got.
Right.
Yeah, it got the mess or it rotated around on Facebook again. Or something
Right.
Like that. Any other questions on that thread?
No,
No, I thought there was more than that. No.
No.
Yeah.
pretty dead.
Did I mention how excited I am with my new kayak?
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
same color as Kayak Evans.
Tell you, man, we had a Trident upside down on the rack today, and the sun out.
Yeah.
And I just went and did the hand, white and black.
Yeah.
And shit, man, I want one of them laser
So
heat readers to
for
actually
the year, you could do it for the year. You get one of those for the year, and you could do that right there.
But I want to know exactly what. White is nothing. I mean, put your hands on. You put that hand in black. It is oven, man. It's like a frying pan. It's amazing. Just to show people, like when you're looking at colors of boats, keep that in consideration where you live.
Well, while we're on this, and I already know what your answer is, but what do you think? Do you think the color of your kayak affects fish, especially like fish when you're like hovering over them, like sheep's head or potentially big reds?
I think what I've noticed now with when I was using the orange 13, cobia saw me. There's no fucking doubt about that. And I do remember in that. And then when I went to
They eat orange. You just didn't get it big enough.
Yeah, what not enough feathers on it. But then when I have the Predator and my Ultra,
the sand.
It's a regular camo, so it's a green camo or a tan camo, right? That looks like, to me, that I would imagine that looks like a log in the water. Anything looks like some kind of log. It's just spotted, and I was able to get closer to reds with that. I damn sure noticed I was able to get closer. They weren't spooking until I got
my
on
sand
top
colored one doesn't bother anything.
Yes, so I
they see the color all day long every day.
I
know that color.
Tan color doesn't seem to bother
I think any of the
anything.
camo. I think even the white camo, as long as it's spotted, I think it looks like debris. It looks like a log. It looks like some kind of floating
I'm not
debris.
sure sight fishing in your bright yellow is. I mean, that literally sometimes that glows when the sun hits it and puts off like a.
Yeah.
I think that I've noticed that now, and now that I've gotten camouflage boats and darker boats,
Now, something that's kind of in the middle is I have the blue kayak.
Right.
And
that's
would that be
dark.
sky?
Blue is dark.
Yeah,
Right. The blue is dark.
Yeah.
Right. So I would think that wouldn't be that bad because it's not. It's too bright, man. We like my.
No, I mean, that's the one that I started off
Yeah,
on.
all Oceans boats used to be the same color as their wreck boats. Now, they're not the same color as their wreck boats at all.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you can't even get them in the same boats as. Yeah, you can't get that bright green color.
I think it's yellow, tan, and then
they still make the yellow and the tan, but they don't make the wreck boats in tan.
No.
They just make the wreck boats in the yellow, the green, the blue.
The sunburst. Yellow and orange, they still make that.
Do they still make that?
Yeah, they still that's a good color for people who want to be seen. You got the yellow in that color, and
yeah, I mean, if you're not sight fishing
the HRBT, you want to be seen.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
My first boat was bright yellow.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I've had great luck in my blue. I mean, that's
when
is
the one you guys rode? The new one. What is it called anyway?
They didn't ride it. He didn't ride it.
You didn't ride that one?
No.
So you weren't here for that.
I got invited,
that one.
but I got back like 2 days too late. And so they're like, hey, we got this boat. We want you to ride it.
I was
and then they're like, when are you going to get here? And I said, this day. And they said, no, we're going 2 days prior.
So did you see it yet?
I haven't seen it in person. I talked to Rick a lot about it. I talked to Rick a little bit online, but mainly it was Rob since we went out. Talked to Rob about it. He's excited about it. It has a lot of features like I suggested, like a hatch for rods. Mm-hmm. And so they added that, except I think they want you to put the rods to the rear. So that's something a little bit different. I know some people have already done that in the past anyway.
I mean,
it's easier to pull it out.
I do mine that way.
I'm not. I don't have any imagination.
In the front of your boat though, and I don't.
Right. Yeah. That's right. I have stuff in the front.
I don't have any imagination. So they also added the transducer little pod thing also in front of it, which initially upset me.
Is it the same thing that the Ride 115 has?
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's a cool unit, man. That whole fucking thing is.
I just wanted to be faster. I didn't want anything on the bottom.
Right.
That was my biggest thing.
Yeah.
And so they said, hey. A lot of these guys, offshore guys, especially in Florida,
the guys fishing offshore, fish deep
they
water.
Want that.
They
don't care what Jay Brooks wants. Yeah. But all these other guys want this. I said, okay.
They want that machine to sit right in there, and a lot of guys, does it sit in and come right back out?
Right. So they can pull the whole unit out.
Right. That's what you need, because that's why I don't have electronics anymore, because I killed a $900 unit in no time.
Yeah, either the batteries,
full color, everything is awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome, but it did not last. That storm in Sandbridge killed it.
Yeah.
So, Rob saw it. He paddled it around. He said it's right in the middle. I don't know if I should be telling you all this, but
it's soon, isn't it?
I want to say iCast time. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess at the same time they're going to release the new Predator. The P3.
I think everything's supposed to come out in iCast. I wish iCast was the beginning of the season though.
Yeah. No.
So I could be paddling them over now.
And iCast isn't in Vegas this year. It's in Florida.
Right.
Even better.
Yeah.
But so he said it's right in the middle between a ride. He says it's faster than a ride. He says it's a little bit slower than tarpon, but that's
give and take. It's give and take.
Right, and it has a little bit more stability than the tarpon. So it's right in the middle. So it's right in the middle.
It's going to be your standing red boat.
Yeah. Maybe. This year I'm gonna try to start working on my tarpon standing skills, which is. If I can do that, I can stand in anything. So
the 14, I can stand in the 14 perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You can stand in the 14 perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's still not.
I'm just not.
You can probably handstand in the 14 perfectly fine.
I'm just not athletic.
Handstand push-ups.
I'm a caveman, so it's tough for me.
Caveman.
So
clean cut.
That's what I tell everyone. They're like, hey, just do this on the computer. I'm like, caveman. And they're like, what? And
I was a caveman. I didn't get a computer until 2006, so I was real late on the game.
And now you on the internet.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't know what a podcast was until they're like, hey, you want to do this? Like, yes, I do want to do this. Are you watching it? No, I have not. Wait, I don't even know how to. You just have to push play. Oh. See, someone should have told me.
We were casting.
This is not a casting competition. Into some type of pod. I don't know.
Cool. All right. Do you want to wrap it up? Is that it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
we're still.
We're
10 minutes faster than that, so it's an hour and 25 minutes. We're right on time. Yeah.
Right at. All right, guys, thanks for checking it out, and thank you, Jay, for coming in first time. And you had a great week anyway. So you had a lot of good fishing. You actually got.
Check out those pictures.
It's good pictures
on VirginiaKayakFisherman.com. But Yeah, I mean, we had some good pictures, and then Rob has some great pictures, and he's
The
slowly
video is the shit.
he's slowly leaking those pictures out right now, and I'm even waiting because I was there, but you know he'll leak something. I'm like, okay, I forgot about that. That's good. That's good. And so he's at Outer Banks kayakfishing.com.
Yep. That's Rob Alderman's, and yours is Kayak Virginia, and it's spelled out Virginia. VirginiaKayakFisherman.com. Yep. And thank you for Yak Attack, a sponsor, yakattack.us. And we'll see you guys later on.
I forgot to say, man, he hooked me with an awesome black pack.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Are we still on?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well,
I'm about to wrap it up because I'm about to run.
Sorry. Go. I'll tell you about it later. But
yeah, black
I
pack.
got the black pack. I got this brand new camera thing because I wanted something for the side, like some of the other guys are doing. And
well, I mean, I've always the
awesome.
the funniest thing about Yak Attack stuff for me is taking you guys' jobs. So if you're a fan of South, if you're a fan of South Park,
I never thought about it like that.
Take my job, take my job, Yak Attack, took my job, took my job.
I even told Luther, I was like, I'm not into gear, and he's like, okay, that's fine, just check it out.
Look at the pictures from the last one, the week before my pictures, my real good week where I caught a bunch of reds in this past spring. All the ones that are, you can tell the ones that are somebody took them because the rest of them are real close. They look like you would be taking them.
Right.
That's all Yak Attack shit. I mean, they took your job. Totally took your
Oh yeah,
I'm glad for it.
like last year, you're like, man, you take really good photos. I'm like, yeah, that was the panfish portrait. That's what he.
And that's when I started working.
That was the one piece of gear I had, and now I'm addicted now.
Yeah.
Like it's.
I started working that thing too. I was like, yeah, this really works well. All right, guys, we'll see you later.